Good morning, Arsam. I'm going to talk with you and go ahead uh, with your presentation, please. Um, Arsam es excepcional. Es un joven también excepcional que de alguna manera ha impulsado el futurismo para su generación. Es el primer miembro de la World Future Studies Federation Junior y es fundador del movimiento futurista de la generación Z, the founder of Gen Z Futurist Movement. ¿Cuál es su meta? Escuchen nada más. Su meta es hacer un disruptor en el sistema educativo y enseñar a 1.000 millones de niños de la generación Z sobre estudios de futuros y ayudarlos a convertirse en futuristas y grandes líderes del futuro. También, igual que Andrés, tienen excelentes ideas y él al principio, a nivel de la final del año, presentó un proyecto para la World Future Studies Federation que realmente es un proyecto sensacional. Arsam, please go ahead.
Okay, sure. Hello, everyone, and Andres, thank you for your presentation. Even though I didn't understand much, it seemed really interesting. And hi, everyone. I am Arsam. I am 12 years old, and I am the youngest futurist. And I am the first and youngest member of WFSF Junior, and I'm also founder of Gen Z Futurists Movements and Platform. I'm going to start my presentation. Let me share my screen with you. So, okay, what is Gen Z Futurists? So, Gen Z Futurists is a movement platform where children can learn about future thinking and know about future studies in a more simple way than other adults learn. Gen Z Futurists is both a movement and platform. It's a movement because we want to spread to all schools around the world, to all countries. And it's a platform because children can talk to each other, communicate, talk to their teachers, and students can talk to each other about the topics that they have been learning, and they can share their knowledge and information, and they can learn more. So Gen Z Futurists is an exponential organization, which means, I can explain what is an exponential organization. An exponential organization is an organization that is, the output and impact is 10 times larger than other organizations. And it has 11 attributes. And Gen Z Futurists has most of the 11 attributes. And one of the most important attributes is the MTP, or Massive Transformative Purpose. Gen Z Futurists' MTP is to disrupt the education system and teach 1 billion Generation Z about futures thinking and spread futures thinking to all schools and help kids to become great leaders of their countries. So, futures literacy is an ability, or it's an ability that you can teach or learn, which it completely changes a person's life, because a person who is future literate lives in a complete different world than a person who is not future literate. For example, a person is studying to become a doctor, and because they're not futures literate, they don't know much about AI probably, and they will not know that what jobs will still be available for us humans to have and what will be taken over by AI. And this person works very hard and studies very hard to become a doctor, but they waste years of their life, and then they get the news that they can't be a doctor because only AI gets to be a doctor. But a person who is future literate completely has different plans, life plans and goals than a person who is not futures literate. So There's two important things about future literacy. One is that the future does not exist and we can only imagine it. And two, we humans have the ability to imagine. So we can imagine the future, thereby becoming futures literate. So why is future literacy so important to know about and learn? It's because when we think about the future, we mostly have two feelings. One is hope and two is fear. One is fear because people don't know about future because it doesn't exist yet. And when people don't know about something, they're afraid of it. And like AI, most of the people don't know much about AI and they're afraid of it. They think that it's here to destroy us or it's here to take over the world and take over our jobs. But then some people who know about AI and are future literate, they know that AI is actually here to help us. There is hope here. AI is here to help us to solve problems that we can't. And yeah, that is future literacy. So there are, I'm going to explain the four future personality types. Number one, the observer. Observers watch what is happening around them and see how all the pieces fit together to set us on a path toward the future. People with this future personality type believe that we can notice what will happen if you just pay attention, and that their role is to watch out for the future, but not really to shape it. Observers are often better at seeing what is happening around them than others and are willing to go with the flow. Number two, the navigator. Navigators know where the ship is headed, but they also know that we each have to take individual actions to make sure the trip goes smoothly. Let me drink water for a second. Navigators believe that the future is not yet determined and it will unfold on its own. And our individual action doesn't have much influence over how the future turns out. Navigators are often confident, decisive, and want to limit the amount of uncertainty in a situation. Now, number three, the explorer. Explorers see a wide range of possibilities and are willing to go with any that come along. People with this future personality type believe that the future is not yet determined, and our individual actions don't have much influence over how the future turns out. Explorers are often dreamers and can see the best in many types of situations. The last one, the fourth, the map maker. Actually, I myself, I'm a map maker, and it's interesting to know that what other people in this Zoom chat are what kind of personality type they have. But map makers have an entire ocean in front of them and make decisions that will determine where the ship ends up. Map makers believe that the future is wide open with possibilities and that anything is possible. Map makers believe that our decisions and actions determine how the future turns out. Map makers are often imaginative and optimistic and strong leaders ready to take in charge. Actually, we in Gen Z want to create or make children to be map makers because I think that map maker is one of the best future personality type, and yeah. So VUCA. I'm going to explain VUCA and what it stands for. So VUCA stands for volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. So the word VUCA was created by the US military after the Cold War to show us that there's not only the two forces, Soviet Union and United States, there's actually multi-power. There are different countries that have different powers, and the world is much more complex than we think it is. But what is volatility? Volatility means that change goes up and down. It's like a roller coaster. There are 3 dimensions of volatility. Number 1, and the speed of change can vary. It can be sometimes fast or sometimes slow. And 2, the scale of change or the amount of change can vary. It can be sometimes little or sometimes a lot. And the change can spread out to different dimensions or fields. For example, technology is going to other fields like education system. People are going to use education system. People are going to use technology in education system. Or a great example is the coronavirus. The coronavirus is almost spreading to all fields, schools, everywhere. And yeah. Number 2, uncertainty. Uncertainty means to not be sure about something. For example, how we're not sure about the impact or the results that AI is going to have. Is it going to have good results or bad results? Number 3 is complexity. Complexity in a situation means that there are different drivers of change, there are different reasons of change, and the cause and effect of change are unclear. And that is complexity. The last one, ambiguity. Ambiguity means the lack of pure meaning. For example, the word technology is ambiguous, but is defined by the people who use it. And yeah, that's So personal futures. Personal futures is a step-by-step guide to understand and plan your life and future. And more importantly, it is about how to prepare for and achieve the future we want. For decades, futurists, governments, and companies, large businesses, have been applying methods to understand and explore the future. But most importantly, they have learned how to influence and change the future. The approach you will take consists of 3 steps. 1, build a framework of information about your life. This is all information you already know, and so you should write down all of the goals that you should do in different aspects of your life. And 2, explore your plausible futures with scenarios. Consider what your future could be and what do you prefer for your future. Have a future which, for example, number 1 is not so different, doesn't have much change than the present, or 2, a positive future, 3, a negative future, 4, a wild card future or a surprise future, and the last one, 5, a future in which you achieve something that is very important to you. So, and 3, from the scenarios, develop a vision of your future and make plans for different, create plans for your future, make action plans to make them come true. Decide what you want for your future and create a plan for your future and make them come true, achieve them. And make different plans for every different stages of your life. And those stages are infant, child, adolescent, young adult, middle age, independent elder, vulnerable elder, and end of life. Those 3 last stages are optional, or by what I mean by optional, I mean it depends on your health, not only your age. And that those are the personal future. That was just a short introduction, but if you'd like to know more about it, check out Dr. Ron Wheelwright's book. It's Your Future, Make It a Good One, to know more about what is personal futures and how you can create your own preferred future. And if you'd like to know more about me, go visit genzfuturists.com, and thank you for your time listening to my presentation.
Arsam en español para atención de nuestra audiencia en español. y luego le paso la palabra a José Luis Ramírez.
Arsam, Jose Luis is just telling that he is very surprised about the two of you because of your age, and you are very structured in your thinking. So he congratulates the two of you.
The question is the next. I'm very pleased to listening of your knowledge in foresight. So I want to ask to you, Arsam, which was your motivation to get into the world of the foresight? That will be my question. Thank you. Gracias.
Well, 2 years ago, I almost didn't know anything at all about the future until my stepfather, Donna, came into our life, and he talked about, he was a futurist himself and was a member of WFSF, and he talked about future studies and future thinking and the technologies and what technologies we will have in the future. And I thought it was very interesting, and I started to have some questions, and I asked him a lot of questions, and the more he answered my questions, the more I thought it was interesting, until one day I asked Donna if I could be a futurist. But I didn't think that I could be a futurist in this age. I asked him, can I be a futurist when I was 40? He thought my questions were funny and asked me, why not now? And I said, because all the futurists you talked about are usually older than 30 or 40. And until I asked him, can a teenager become a futurist? And he said, well, he didn't really know what to say. So we went to ask Victor, the director of WFSF, if it is possible for me to be a member. But Victor said no, because WFSF membership is more for adults. And one day Victor and Donna sent a message, an email to Dr. Overland, and they started a new membership called WFSF Junior, and that's how I became the first member and the youngest member of WFSF Junior. And this was also my motivation.
Más lejos. Y
Gracias.
como dice Arsam, let the dreams come true. Let the dreams come true.
Thank you for having me. Thank you, everyone, and have a nice day.
Thank you.
Gracias.
Thanks to you.
Gracias a todos. Muy amables.
Gracias. Nos vemos en mayo, por favor. Gracias a todos. Hasta
Gracias.
luego. Hasta luego,
Muchas
Martita.
gracias.
Hasta luego.
No, no,
Saludos.